times like these.
A day of grief and support in Jacksonville.
Let us pray, Lord.
Many, including the mayor, seeking comfort at church.
It feels some days like we're going backwards.
On Saturday afternoon, a 21-year-old white man in combat gear walked up to this Dollar General store. Video released by police shows what happened next. He fired 11 rounds at this sedan before going inside and firing again. In all, he killed 3 people, a 52-year-old woman and 2 men aged 19 and 29. All were black. Then he took his own life.
The manifesto is quite frankly, the diary of a madman.
3 manifestos, in fact, which laid out his hatred for black people.
It was racist violence that has been perpetuated by rhetoric and policies designed to attack black people, period.
While Governor Ron DeSantis didn't mince words,
the state and its people condemn the horrific racially motivated murders perpetrated by a deranged scumbag.
As a part of his so-called war on woke, Florida has revised how black history is taught, suggesting that black people benefited from slavery because they learned important skills. Some linked that cultural backdrop and the shooting.
To see 3 precious black lives taken in a state where you have an asinine governor attacking black people, attacking black history.
This attack came as hundreds converged in D.C. for the 60th anniversary of the March on Washington, where Martin Luther King Jr. uttered those famous words.
I have a dream.
His granddaughter says the shooting shows that dream is still a long way off.
That was a call to action, and 60 years later, the dream still has not been fulfilled. We are not where we need to be.
But for now, many choose to be here to hold space for 3 people killed simply
Help us, God.
because they were black.
And Katie, what more can you tell us about the firearms that were used here?
Well, Ian, the sheriff today confirmed that he bought a handgun in April and an AR-15 in June from 2 different companies, both legally. He had no criminal background that would have prevented him from obtaining these weapons, and there are background checks in Florida. He was briefly detained under a state law back in 2017 that allows a person in mental health crisis to be taken into a facility against their will just for examination. But none of that disqualified him from buying a gun he'd end up decorating with swastikas and used to kill people.
Katie Nicholson reporting from Washington.